Cool.
All right, welcome back to Rogue Kitchen. This is our second installment, and we're just gonna kind of hang here for a little minute, see if we get some people logging in on here. Say hi to us in the
Very
comments if
good.
you're here.
So you can see today we are outside, a little warm, nice little breeze rolling through. We're going to be doing some grilling today. We're going to be grilling up some vegetables. We'll do some cauliflower steaks, some grilled sweet potatoes. We're going to combine that with some diced cucumber, some lime juice, cilantro, and mint. And then we've got some beautiful corn here. We're going to grill up. All right, and we're going to make a nice little smoky butter to go with it. We're going to cook that butter on the grill in a pot. So we're trying to do all of our prep and all of our cooking outside today. If you're prepping indoors, great. Just be sure to get that grill nice and hot and preheated. We're going to cook on a high heat today. We really want some char on our vegetables. We really want to try to get some grill marks on our cauliflower. If anything, that kind of gives it a nice aesthetic look, but we do definitely want to get some char on our cauliflower there. All right. One thing that as I was thinking through this recipe today, and one thing I did not include in the recipe, but I'll give you the ingredients and the measurements here, is I'm going to create a nice little curry mayonnaise to put on top of our cauliflower. Our cauliflower just has some garlic and lemon juice, a tiny bit of rosemary in it, but that won't conflict with flavors that much. All right, but the reason why I picked that is you remember last week we used that curry paste, right, in our chicken tikka masala. So a lot of times when we see a recipe, right, and we buy the ingredients for it, and we buy a big jar like this of curry paste, or for example, we only use 2 or 3 tablespoons of it, and then it sits on our refrigerator forever, and we don't really know what to use or how we should use it again. And so today I wanted to make a nice little curry mayonnaise to go on top of our cauliflower, and use more of that curry paste there. So
Yeah, and I think that
right,
flavor
so
profile will go good with the mint that you have in there as well.
yeah, absolutely. We've got some cilantro in there too with the sweet potatoes and the cucumber. So that'll definitely all go there and whatnot. So, so with that, so in our ingredients today, of course, we have 1 head of cauliflower, and I'll show you how to break this down and how to take those leaves, the ribs, these ribs off here, and how to cut those into steaks. We've got our 1 sweet potato. This is kind of interesting because, we when you're cutting a tuber like this is very, very fibrous, right? And it's kind of hard, to cut. So, we kind of have 2 thoughts here, right? We want to cut our sweet potato to make it a little bit easier. We want to cut our sweet potato this way, right? But then maybe it takes up more room on our grill, or it's a little bit harder to turn that many pieces when we're grilling. The other thought is to cut it long ways, right? Well, that makes it a little bit more difficult to cut. Okay, so if you're following along with us, or if you do or grill or use this recipe later on, that's kind of up to you on how to do that. Today, I think I'll cut it lengthwise. I'll cut them this way. All right, just so we can get a few pieces on the grill there. All
And
right.
on that note, you could also cut it in half, and I think what you're trying to do is just get the biggest piece. That way you can manage it on the grill, right? So if it's too small,
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
you're sitting there like flipping a
Yep,
bunch of different ones, and or they fall through the grates, and you want to make sure that it's going to not fall through the grates. There's nothing worse than having
that's right.
peppers,
Yeah.
onions, and random vegetables all stuck in your grill, and you got to clean it afterwards.
Yeah, that's definitely no fun. But that's a really great point, Jimmy. Go ahead. We can cut that in half and then cut those into slices as well. So again, we've got our corn sitting over here. We've got our 1 cucumber. We've got some garlic. All right. We've got our fresh herbs of cilantro, mint. I've got some parsley, some rosemary, and we've got some lemon and lime here. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and we'll cut our cauliflower. All right. Now, if you're enjoying a beverage out while you're doing this today, of course, mine, I'll open mine later. But when I grill outside, I usually like to enjoy a nice beer. All right. And my preferred beer is the Helles Lager from Tivoli Brewery there. So I'll set that as, there we go. So I'll set that aside and we'll enjoy that later on. All right. So, okay. So on our cauliflower here, all right. So we've got our head of cauliflower here. We've got our ribs on here. Okay. So easiest thing I like to do, I'm going to tilt the screen down here so we can see this a little bit better. All right. So what I like to do on this is I just like to cut the cauliflower right in half, like so. All right. Now what we can do is we can just break these leaves and ribs off like that.
Yeah,
okay,
do you do anything with those?
Honestly, I just compost them.
Yeah, great compost. Now for this recipe, we're keeping the stem, like the core inside, but a lot of times.
That's exactly. So, yeah, we're keeping as much of that as possible.
Yeah.
You know, even still cutting these into steaks, I can still break this off and still get some nice little steaks here. So whoop, there we go. All right.
And a lot of times with the core, if you're doing another recipe where you are cutting that out, a lot of times I'll take that and I'll stick it in my fridge. And then afterwards, maybe later in the week, I'll take all those cores from broccoli or cauliflower and I'll shred it.
Yeah.
And then I make like a cauliflower broccoli cheese tot. So just another way to kind of use up some of those scraps.
Oh, absolutely. That sounds wonderful.
Right,
okay, so now we've got our...
Give me 1 second. I'm going to say hi to Kate Otto. Jeff, you're here. Hello, Judy. Diane, thanks for joining us. Susan, Alice, Connie. Thank you, everybody. I think we have a few watch parties going on. So
hey, everyone.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now we've got our cauliflower cut in half here. All right. So now we're just going to kind of follow this same cut line here. We're just going to cut our cauliflower into slices about like so. Like that. Here we go. All right. And sometimes some of these will fall apart into smaller pieces, and that's fine. All right, but we'll just cut one more time here. All right. And I'll get my sheet pan here. It's got all my tools and herbs on it.
And again, we're trying to keep big chunks. That way it's easy to manage on the grill.
That's right. Yeah, we'll have some smaller ones here, and that's fine.
We'll call them cauliflower medallions.
There you go. All right, we'll do the same thing with this other piece here. Cut those up. All right. And then we'll set that aside. All right, now we want to prepare our marinade for this here. So on our marinade, we want some lemon here. Okay. Then we'll take our rosemary. All right, and I'll strip the leaves off of that. Just a few there.
Is that rosemary from
too many.
Your garden there?
It is, yep. Just clipped a sprig of rosemary from the garden there and using that today. It's kind of fun. All right, and then 1 clove of garlic. So now I've got this little thing. Last week I showed you all kind of a unitasker of chopping garlic. Well, this week I've got a little unitasker for peeling garlic. It's a little, like a rubber tube here with little bumps on the inside here, and we'll just slip the garlic clove in there, roll it back and forth a little bit.
Nice, those are handy.
All right, pop it out. All right, and now all of our peel is gone. If you can see in the inside, this garlic skin is on the inside of that, so
nice.
It's kind of fun.
That's awesome.
All right, so again, we'll use our microplane to grate our garlic, and actually I'm going to give quite a bit of credit to Chef Jennifer Watson at MSU for really using these. She likes to use these a lot in classes. So thank you, Chef Watson, for that. I usually just smash the garlic on the cutting board, but I think it's nice to have that one of these little things here, and you can go through some garlic fairly quickly. So, all right, we'll put that garlic in there like so. All right, and we'll just squeeze our lemon juice here, about half a lemon here into there.
All right, so we got garlic, minced garlic, lemon, some rosemary.
Yep.
Nice.
And anybody ever asks you what's the best knife to use for rosemary, you always say somebody else's. Because the leaves are tough and they can sometimes dull your blade if you chop a lot of it. So anyway,
maybe we should do a quick lesson on sharpening a blade sometime.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be fun. Okay, and then we just need to get some olive oil in here. We need about 1/4 of a cup or so. So we'll just kind of eyeball this here a little bit.
Now, what kind of olive oil do we have here?
Go. I've just got some extra virgin olive oil there. Adds a nice little flavor to our cauliflower, and
helps get that nice rich
helps
flavor.
with getting that nice rich flavor. Yeah, a little bit of char helps get that char on the.
All right, so if you're looking for the recipe, everybody out there, Mackenzie posted it. A link to the recipe in the comments somewhere over there, maybe. Yep. Which way? That way? All right.
Okay, so now I'm just kind of spooning this marinade on. Medallions here. All right. I'll flip them over. Actually, let's go ahead and season our
always season.
Right here. There we go. Okay, now we'll flip all these guys over.
And do you have your grill preheating right now, Jason?
I do, yeah.
Now, when you preheat, what temperature are you looking at? High, medium, low?
I like to go high on the grilled veg. Get those nice little marks on there, start to get that char flavor on there. And then we can always adjust our temperature and as we're cooking our product there. So, all right, now we've got all of our veggies marinated here. I'm going to go ahead and plop those guys on the grill so we can get started on that, and we'll get our other veg going here too. So over here to the grill, we'll go ahead and put our cauliflower down. Oh yeah, nice little sizzle on there. That's what we're looking for. Before we started today, I took the time to season the grill, even though we're not cooking something that's going to stick or anything, but seasoning really helps with prolonging the life of the grates of your grill, and it helps with food not sticking as well. I tend to do it before and after I grill.
Now, when you say season, you mean putting some salt and pepper on there?
Good point. No, so what I do is take some canola oil, pour it into a bowl, and just use a paper towel. Turn the heat down on that one just a little bit there. And I use the paper towel, or dip the paper towel in the canola oil and rub it across the grate. Okay, so back here, I'll do this other side so I can demonstrate here to you.
That'd be good to see.
So you just take some canola oil and a paper towel and just rub it on the grates like so. All right.
All right. And so, yeah, when that smokes, then it kind of builds a layer up on that grill, right? Makes it a little bit more non-stick, kind of like a cast iron. A little flame up.
pot and pan. You just kind of have to get to know your cooking utensils there, so cooking tools. All right, so we'll set that bowl aside there. So we've got our corn on, we've got our cauliflower going. Let's go ahead and cut our sweet potato up here.
I do love some sweet potatoes.
What I'm going to do is just, grilled sweet potatoes are great. So Jimmy, I'm going to follow your direction on that. I'm going to go ahead and cut this big guy in half, and then we'll just cut these into slices. About a half. When we combine them with our cucumber, we don't want big chunks of sweet potato in there. All right, we'll put those into our bowl. Ooh, speaking of doing a demo on sharpening a knife here. All right, so we'll cut those down.
Do that real quick.
Yeah, I use a whetstone, and so it would take a few minutes to get that stone wet there. A little bit there.
Yeah, and so with the size of these sweet potatoes, you know, there's two things here. You're trying to get something that's manageable on the grill, but also, you know, depending on what knife you're using, something that's manageable with that knife. You know, it's like if you have a 9-inch chef knife, then you can cut the full length of it. If you're just using a short little 6-inch or a little Sentoku like you have, then you want to get it down to like the length of the blades. So that way it's a little bit more manageable.
Absolutely, yeah. Because these things are fibrous, you definitely don't want it to knives get stuck and the potato to roll and you cut yourself or something. So
yeah, I've seen people take thumbs off.
Tossing those. Oh man, that is not good. All right, so now we've coated our sweet potato in our oil here. Just going to sprinkle some salt on top. Okay, a little bit of pepper on there as well. We're going to flavor this up later on, so we don't really want crazy seasonings going on there. Okay, so now we'll go ahead. Kind of a big boy there. All right.
We lost your feed on your grill for some reason.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think your device camera shut off.
Okay, let me get that back on here.
All right. And we're definitely getting into the grilling season. It's definitely nice and toasty outside. It's nice to get that grilling done outside and do all the cooking outside so you aren't heating up your house too much.
Yep, definitely. Hey.
All right, yeah, give us just a minute. We got to get that other camera up, otherwise you can't see the grill. Let's cut the audio on that guy too.
Okay, on that, I'm going to go ahead and turn our cauliflower here. See in here in just a second. There.
All right, we're
All
back.
right, gang.
Still working on a device. Sorry about that. I think that's all right, Jason. Why don't we just continue with just the computer camera, and we can move that around a little bit, get a shot of your grill. If you want to hang up on the phone. Oh wait, there we go. All right, thanks for hanging in with us. Sorry about that. There we go. Now we can see the grill.
All right, so now we've got some nice marks here. All right, so we'll close that guy up. Check back with as well. So got butter going to pot. Some smoke.
All right.
Well, you know. Just find some room on the grill.
Alright, so can I get a comment from someone out there, see if our video and audio is doing good? We had some technical difficulties here.
Let's check the corn here a little bit. We're starting to get some char on there. Our cauliflower is almost done. I'll just set that aside when it's done. It's kind of weird. I thought I muted my phone over here, and I can hear it through the speaker there. So,
all right.
Turn it all the way down. Okay, so now we'll cut our cucumber here, and we'll mix that with our cilantro and our mint and our lime juice. All right, I'm going to tilt down again here.
All right, so Jason, I think we're back with audio and everything. We were a little bit choppy. We missed a few things. If you can go back and talk about the pan on the grill.
Yeah.
And what we had going
on there.
So,
okay, so I've got a little pot here on the grill. So we put our butter, our smoked paprika, our chili powder, and our oregano in there. Oh, that looks so good. We'll spoon that on top of our corn when that's done, or when we get ready to serve there, okay? We're caught up there. Good. Okay, so now on our cucumber, we're going to cut it in half. Again, we'll cut it long ways like this. And then what I like to do is I like to take the middle out here, the seeds, that wet part here of the cucumber. That way we don't add a lot of excess moisture to our little salad here we're going to do. So I say salad, but there will not be any leafy greens in it of any kind. So, okay. No, so just use one stick. On the grocery list, it was you can't buy one stick of butter. I mean, you could buy smaller quantities, but buy 1 pound of butter and you use one stick. And so, all right, so I'm just going to nip off the ends here a little bit as well. And then on our cucumber, considering that we sliced our sweet potatoes a 1/2 inch thick, and we're going to cut those up into dice, we want to do the same thing for our cucumbers. So I'm going to cut this 3 or 4 times here. Yeah. Final product of the cucumber will be diced cucumber, diced grilled sweet potato, Those two will be mixed, and then we will throw in chopped mint, chopped cilantro, lime juice, and salt and pepper.
All right.
It'll be really nice. All right. Now, I'm just going to use the same bowl that I used to toss our sweet potatoes in, because we only had just a little bit of oil and salt and pepper in there. So now we'll go through and dice up our cucumber here. We don't have to get too crazy with everything being exact. All right, we can. Yeah, I wonder if maybe the phone got a little hot there, Jimmy, when it cut out.
Maybe. Hopefully we're not cooking your phone.
There. Yeah, hope not. All right, so we've got our cucumber in the bowl. I'm going to go over here and we're going to check out our grill situation. Okay, so our butter is nicely melted, so we're just going to take that off the heat and we'll set it aside. All right, and then we'll go ahead and check our cauliflower. Oh yeah, we got some really nice char marks on those. All right, we'll let those go for just a few more minutes here.
I think we lost your phone feed again, but if you just want to go ahead and hang that up so it stops glitching us out, and then we'll be fine.
Okay, I'll just take that off there. And
there we go.
I'll just keep turning the computer there, and we'll just have to deal with that. All right, so now got some nice little char marks here on our sweet potatoes.
Nice, that looks great.
Okay, so now we just need to let those cook. You know, and sometimes you get a little too much char on your sweet potatoes, but we can cut that off there. So
yeah, those sugars start to come out, and they definitely caramelize quickly.
Sure. And then see, we're starting to get some nice char on our corn as well. That'll be good.
So now here's a good time to figure out where your hot spots are on your grill. So pay attention to where you're getting all that char, and then make a mental note of that, or even sketch it out on a piece of paper so when you come back to do your grilling, you know your hot spots and your cool spots. So
that's it.
I know exactly on mine, exactly where my hottest spot is, and when I go to get my first sear on like my steaks or any sort of vegetable, I know to go right there first, then hit a cooler spot, and then come back to it.
Yeah, that's a great point. Okay, so those just have a few more minutes there. So while those are finishing up, we'll go ahead and finish up our cucumber salad here. So we're going to grab some mint and our cilantro.
Now, is the mint from your garden too?
The mint and the cilantro, both from the garden. Yep, I've got some parsley over there too. That
nicely done.
Will be from our garden. So I think, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 leaves of mint really is all you need. But you can take the rest and make a cocktail with it, or throw it in some tea and lemonade and make a nice little lemonade tea with mint or something. Or I guess so. Basically, an Arnold Palmer with mint.
A mint Arnold Palmer sounds pretty good.
You're making. Yeah.
We actually just made some juleps last week with a bunch of mint.
Oh, yum. All right, so we'll go ahead and siphon out our cilantro and mint. So like last week, we demoed how to take your herbs and just kind of roll them up like so, roll them together, and then just nice thin strips here. Again, if your grill is too hot while your vegetables are grilling, I can always turn it down, and we don't burn everything up. And we'll just put our cilantro and mint straight in there. Check everything here, and we're getting some really great color on there. All right. So our sweet potatoes are done when they're easily pierced with like a fork or a knife. Okay, so we'll just
kind of like the
check
picture
that
of a
out.
baked potato or a baked sweet potato.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so those are ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those off.
Beautiful.
All right. Get some nice charred sweet potato in with that nice cool cucumber.
Chef Watson says beautiful. Thank you, Chef Watson.
Be nice.
We got to get you on here sometime. We can Skype you in, and we can all chat about what Jason's doing.
Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and pull the cauliflower off. We'll just go ahead and get those. We'll get those set up there. All right.
And do you still want a little bit of texture with the cauliflower, or like what?
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely do not want it to be mushy when you pull it off the grill. You definitely want some texture to it. All right, there we go. And the great thing about today's video too, or today's cooking demo here is, you know, we can serve this as a meal on its own, right? Like a grilled vegetarian meal. But you know, the other thing too is we can use all these as sides for other dishes, right? So I'm going to turn off, my grill has 3 burners here, and it's really hot in there. So I'm going to go ahead and turn one burner off and keep the other 2 fairly low. I'll show you all here in just a second. The corn in there has a really beautiful char on it. Okay, so we're good to go on that. Now on our sweet potatoes, we take our slices like this. All right, now we just want to cut those into strips. You just kind of want to evaluate your product. We just want to cut little pieces like so, and little dice, about a medium dice there. All right, and that's what they look like there.
All right.
Throw those right in with our cucumbers here. So, all right. So anytime you're cutting up vegetables, cooking vegetables, you definitely want to evaluate the pieces that you have and then how you can cut those up to make them more manageable when you go to eat them. A lot of times you order a dish or you cook something up and like, well, now how do I eat this thing? So you just kind of have to evaluate.
Yeah, just like how you want to manage it on the grill, you have to manage it on the plate too. And if you're serving people, you don't want them to have to fumble or have a chunk that's too big and not have a knife. Especially if you're outside doing a picnic or something, or you don't want to be running back and forth for all the different utensils.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're doing something, you want somebody to have to, holding a plate in their lap or holding a plate up to their face and trying to eat at the same time.
Now, Chef Watson has a question. Is there a reason that you didn't peel the sweet potato?
I like the skin on. That's the only real reason why I left the skin, or why I didn't peel it. I left it on because you can eat the skin of the sweet potato, and I think it adds an interesting texture and a nice flavor to your dish.
Yeah.
So,
I would agree. I like the peel, especially when you get it nice and seasoned. Sometimes it can kind of crisp up too and get like a flaky crispiness to it, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, and like my wife doesn't like it when I microwave sweet potatoes. She likes to put them in the oven, and she likes that really crispy sweet potato part. All right, or the crispiness of the skin there. Now our corn's got some nice little char on it all the way around. All right, so we'll go ahead and I'm gonna put this corn here on the plate here. We'll have to kind of rearrange some of our vegetables here. Okay, so at that point, our grill is done. All right, so we can turn our grill off and we can finish up everything else here. So in this bowl here, I've got our sweet potatoes and our cucumbers. Okay, now I'm going to take our lime here and I'll roll the lime a little bit. That softens up the meaty flesh softens up the flesh on the inside. Okay, cut that up there. All right, and we only need 1/2 of a lime. Okay, we'll put it into our cool little lime juicer here, citrus juicer.
Now we're
Squeeze
already
that in
getting
all the way around.
We're already getting quite a bit of grill flavor from the vegetables from the sweet potatoes. But another thing you could do is take that lime, cut it in half, and throw it on the grill with everything else too. Citrus on the grill definitely changes the flavor of it a little bit, kind of tones it down, and brings out a little bit of sweetness to it, which is what you wouldn't normally think of with an acid, but it gives it a nice, good flavor. Like a grilled lemon or a grilled lime is always tasty.
Ah, interesting. Okay, I thought you meant like squeeze it on the.
No, yeah, like just cut.
Talking like
Just cut it in half and
cut
throw
the wedge,
it on
throw
there
the
and
whole
grill
wedge
it.
right on there.
Yep. Get those marks on
nice.
there. Get a little bit of char.
I'll have to try that out. Okay, so we've got our lime in there, our herbs, our sweet potato, our cucumber there. And we'll just season this up a little bit. Add a little bit of seasoning to it, taste it, and if you need to add more, you can always do that. Right? You can always add more, but you can't take away. So always want to make sure that you taste your product and make sure it's the right seasoning there. Oh yeah.
It looks
Sorry
delicious.
if you can hear me crunching, but that's pretty good. All right. So now we'll whip up this mayonnaise here really quick. So again, we're going to take our curry paste here. Take about a half of a tablespoon of it.
Now, for those of us that weren't with us last week, what kind of curry paste is this again?
This is a Paddocks curry paste. I like their products, and found this at H Mart. Can't really find it in supers.
Now, is it a red or a yellow curry or?
It's more of like a reddish orange kind of curry paste there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely not yellow or anything, but all right. This particular one is mild. They do make a spicier type of paste. Okay, so we've got our paste in the bowl, and I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice to help thin that paste out, so that way it will mix with our mayonnaise and our sour cream that we're going to add to it. So about
because if you went straight in with the mayo, it'd be kind of clumpy and kind of hard to mix up. So this definitely helps spread it out throughout the sauce.
Absolutely. Yep. So we'll stir in our paste here with our juice here. So as you can see, it makes it a little bit more runny here.
Chef Watson is asking if that's a Thai curry or an Indian curry.
Indian curry.
Indian curry. And we'll post the, let's see here. Can you show me that label again?
Yep.
All right, yeah, I'll put that in the comments here.
Okay, sounds good. And so I'm using 2/3 of a cup of mayonnaise. You can use like an avocado mayonnaise or whatever flavor mayo you'd like. And then I'm also using 1/3 cup of sour cream. I like adding sour cream in with mayonnaise because it mellows the flavor out a little bit and gives it a nice, smooth and rich flavor there with that.
Nice.
Okay. So we'll mix this up so we get a nice little. We're going to have a lot of color in here too. You know, we're going to have some green and orange and red, yellow, white. We're going to have a lot of color with this particular dish. And I don't remember if I finished my thought earlier about you can use this as you can use all these recipes just as a meal in itself, or you can pair these with other proteins and steaks, pork chops, chicken, salmon even. So
yeah, I think that's the beauty of these recipes. They're all great sides too, but
yeah,
all put together makes one solid vegetarian dish.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now give me 1 second. I'll kind of transition out of the cutting board here. Oh, you know what? We're going to add a little bit of. Nope, we added the lime already. That's good. Okay, I'm going to set this guy over here. Okay, so now when we go to do our plating here, all right, what I've kind of done is I've kind of bunched up our cauliflower towards the top here a little bit. So we have a couple of steaks here and a few medallions there. So
yeah, there we go. Petite
right.
medallions.
Then we'll just take our cucumber sweet potato salad here. Just kind of put that guy in the corner over here. All right. And a really vibrant color there. A couple different textures going on with the cucumber and the sweet potato. And then we want to check the handle of our hot pot, make sure it's not going to burn us. All right.
Oh yeah, the butter.
We'll stir up a nice little our smoky butter here. Okay, so it's that smoked paprika and the chili butter or the chili powder really color that up. Okay. Now I have not added any seasoning to any salt and pepper to this butter, and we'll put that on after we've spooned the butter on. So now I'm going to just spoon our chili butter right on top of our corn. A lot of times if you go to different street festivals or music or art festivals or anything, you'll see roasted corn that's still in the husk. You peel the husk back and they give you a little cup of chili butter, and you dip your corn cob in chili butter, and that's kind of the inspiration behind this. But a lot of times when we eat corn, we kind of roll it around in the butter, and and then we
then your butter's all gross and you stick it back in the fridge.
Yeah, that's right. And go to butter your toast the next day. It's not great, right? So then what we can do is we can just sprinkle our salt right on top, like so. All right. Now, if you wanted every part of the corn cob to be in butter, to be covered with that butter, you could definitely turn your corn cob here as you butter it there. But
I was like, can I just get a cup and just dip the whole thing in there?
Yeah. All right, so then we take our nice little curry mayonnaise here. All right, we can just kind of chisel that over our cauliflower a little bit to kind of give us some flavor.
All right, yeah, that curry mayo looks delicious. And that sour cream definitely kind of lightens it up a little bit and it makes it maybe a little bit more fresh tasting.
Yeah, you bet. And then we can just take some flat leaf parsley here. Just kind of throw that on top. A little bit of added garnish there. Okay, and then one last thing I wanted to show y'all before we call it a day here is, a lot of times, like my daughter has braces, so so there we have our plate of all of our grilled vegetables there.
So looks
kind
delicious.
of fun, a lot of flavor there. But grab my cutting board one last time here. Clean off my little corner here with all of the stuff I had. Yeah, so my daughter has braces. She loves corn on the cob. She loves grilled corn, but it's hard for her to eat the corn with her braces on.
Yep.
So what she's actually learned to do, she watched me, peel the corn kernels,
some cream corn
off the corn. Yeah, and so what you can do is take your knife, you stand up your corn cob like so, right? And you just kind of slice down, trying to get, as much of the corn kernel off the cob without cutting into the cob, right? You're trying to get as much of the corn kernels off as possible. But then you just go down the side, just like so. Just peel it.
See, then you can take that and put it back in the pan with all the butter and just spoon that in.
Yeah, exactly. And then what you can do is you can actually save these guys, right? Because the corn cobs have it's like a milky substance in there. We used to just call it corn milk whenever we'd work in kitchens and stuff. But you can actually save these. You can actually make a corn stock with it. And if you wanted to, throw in some basil or something like that, and then you could cook some rice with it, and or if you want to do a cream corn and you add a little bit of your corn stock, you could definitely do that. But one restaurant I worked in North Carolina, we used to make corn stock like every other day. We went through a whole case of corn and clean it all off, and you save the cobs, and we would make a corn stock that we use for our corn and sweet potato risotto we had on the menu.
Nice.
So
that sounds delicious.
So now we've got all of our corn kernels here broken up there, right? So now we can spoon those onto the onto the plate, and it makes it easier to eat that way then, right? You don't have to worry about ruining your teeth or hurting your teeth on the cob there.
It's a little more elegant on the plate.
Yeah, whole cobs on a plate are kind of weird, but
perfect for a backyard
still
barbecue.
Delicious though. Yeah, very good. And as you can see, it wasn't, preparation wise, it's not a whole lot of prep that goes into cutting a piece of cauliflower. And, but Jimmy, I think you're right. Maybe, cutting cutting less of that stem off there might help with keeping the cauliflower more like steaks, I guess, there. But so we've got our grilled cauliflower there. We've got our charred corn with our smoky butter, one cob cleaned off there, and then we've got our grilled sweet potato, cilantro, grilled sweet potato, cucumber with cilantro, mint, and lime juice.
All right, that looks delicious.
All right.
One question or two questions, Chef Watson. Do you have corn strippers? Is that what, like, it's corn just like a little it's like a little ring and you kind of put it on there and it strips all the corn off? I think. I don't know. I've never seen those. And then
have you guys ever seen that? There's a YouTube video of a guy that puts it on a drill, and he has the little contraption, but he buzzes it spins the corn cob and it strips it all off that way. So
yeah, and then it's all over everywhere. And then Pam Trout is asking, what is the liquid for cornstalk? So like, what are you just boiling in water? Are you going to boil it in some milk or some other chicken stock or?
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Pam, for asking that. So you just boil it in some water. You bring kind of like you would a chicken stock. You put your cobs in the water just enough to cover them. Bring it up to a boil, and then you turn it down. You can simmer it for about 2 hours. So yes, you cook it in water though. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So what do we have up next weekend, Jason? Or next week?
Next week. Yeah. So next Wednesday we've got a great recipe. It's something that I did when I was a test chef for a small grocery chain out in Greensboro, North Carolina. But it's garlic chicken with sherry butter. So it's a breaded chicken breast, and we make this really cool sherry butter that we spoon on top of the chicken, and we bake it at a really high temperature. And that temperature and the butter and all that stuff on top of the crust there gives the chicken a nice crispy texture. So we actually don't have to pan sear it. Do that step of putting a bunch of oil into a pan, searing it, and then on a sheet pan, and then roasting it. Right, that sherry butter will actually do that process for us, and we'll go through all that, and
awesome.
Of course, go through the standard procedure as well, dipping in flour and then egg, and then a seasoned panko breadcrumb. Then we're going to have some blistered green beans with shishito peppers and lemon. So, usually when you think of it, we'll go through all this next week. But if you think of the name shishito pepper, you might think it might be something that's going to be spicy. When in reality, it's not any. It's right there with bell peppers. Yep. The great thing about shishito peppers, especially roasted or blistered, is that they provide that nice little jalapeno flavor to it.
Yeah, they have the fruitiness. So
they're really, really
of the
great.
Jalapeno, but
yeah, exactly right.
I have, and my wife will attest to this. She's occasionally had one that was just fire. So be careful. Take a little nibble.
Oh,
check it out. Yeah, like we had a whole batch that was just normal, and one just lit her up. So yeah, and
right.
Of course it was the last one too. But
well, at least she got to. At least it wasn't the first one, so then she wasn't dealing with that capsaicin in her mouth the entire time. But
all right.
But if anybody has any questions, we will definitely stay on, answer any other questions. But feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions about today's recipes or any clarification on things. But thank you all very much again for joining us, and we look forward to having you all here next week as well.
All right. Yeah, thank you. And if you have any questions, post them in the comments. If we don't get to them tonight, we'll try to get to them tomorrow morning. All right. Looks like no questions. All right. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Take care. Thanks from the Rogue Kitchen.